Hi, in this video I'm going to review the Salesforce news that happened in May of 2022. I'm going to touch on just some of the main headlines and how they might be interesting to Salesforce administrators or other people within the Salesforce ecosystem. All of the links that I'm going to cover today are included in the description as well. This is a new type of video for me and really targeting at my current audience of subscribers who've probably found me because I've helped walk them through some modules on Trailhead. If you find this type of content interesting, please let me know and I'll do more of it. So let's get to it. The first thing that happened actually was not in May, but the very end of April, but this was so important I just had to include it. Parker Harris talks about new innovations that are happening with Slack and asking, what if software isn't something you go to, but something that comes to you? And this is a new sort of a different view of Salesforce. Salesforce got started asking, what if enterprise software was something that was as easy to use as consumer software? Why can't using enterprise software be as easy as buying a book on Amazon? That was the original innovation. And this is really now taking it to a whole different place of just saying, what if there's so much automation that's happening, you really don't have to do anything, it just comes to you and asks you for information. Slack is the front end of that can make all of that automation happening. Let's take a quick listen to Parker talk about what this innovation means.
We're going to enable all the Trailblazers with all the skills and the tools they have to really build workflow applications that join the platforms together.
I think what's key here is this idea that you as a Salesforce administrator, business person, should be aware of where Slack is going, where work is going, and how can you start to make Slack your front end of your user's experience? Is it possible to set up workflows so new accounts could be created in Slack? Is it possible to start to solve cases in Slack? And where your typical user of Salesforce during the day isn't really using Salesforce, but doing all of their interactions in Slack. Here's another article. Salesforce introduces new low-code developer tools to bring Salesforce apps and automations into Slack. Next up is the Salesforce Admin Skills Kit. You might have missed this, but if you are a Salesforce administrator or want to grow or already one, or want to become one, or want to grow as one, which should be everybody, Salesforce has identified a whole list of skills that are necessary for a Salesforce administrator to be successful, well beyond just the technical stuff. And I'm so happy to see this because I feel like a long time some of the business understandings of how to operate have been missing from the conversation of what it means to be an effective Salesforce administrator. And if you're building out a blog for yourself, this is some great content to include on your blog as well as all of these news pieces of information. The Trailblazer.me profile has just recently gotten an update. You can take a look at this if you're in the Salesforce economy, making sure that your Trailblazer.me profile is up to date and effective and tagged appropriately so you're able to identify where you're developing or have your expertise. Super important for make yourself stand out from the crowd. Every year, Salesforce gets ranked by the International Data Cooperation, the IDC. Salesforce is yet again #1 in CRM. And I share this information with you because it's just good to know. Like, if you've decided to work in the Salesforce economy, this is a good reason to work in it because it's #1 in CRM. CRM is going to continue to be a huge growing space. And so it's a good ship to jump onto. Salesforce recently hired a new Chief Information Security Officer, and this is important because it does highlight Salesforce's focus on information security, and information security is something that you should also be thinking about as well, and making sure that that's happening at your organization. This is a good opening, by the way, to start a conversation with somebody like, oh, Salesforce recently hired this. They're taking Salesforce security seriously. Us at our organization, what are we doing, to take security seriously? Ohana Floors have reopened. These are really cool. Every building has one. Oh yeah, Summer 22 came out. I'm not going to go through all of the different release notes because that's just like way too long, but a lot of new innovation. It's definitely good to just read through this and be on top of some of the new things that have come out. Just a little bit of an alert. There is a lot of business jargon in these release notes. So if you look at it and you're like, I don't know what that means, it's okay. Just watch the demo and then you'll try to figure it out. And then also then try to figure out how to explain it to people so you don't go to your CEO and say, hey, Salesforce now supports swarming. And they'll be like, I have no idea what the world that is. So do a little research and come up with a point of view on how you want to explain that to people. Tableau Cloud brings advanced analytics and automation insights to business users. So there's some new innovation that's happening in the Tableau space. Finally, this just came out. This is a bit of a piece of marketing that came out about how JetBlue is using Salesforce. I really like this video though, especially for people who are new to technology and business, because it really does a great illustration of talking about how Salesforce solves business problems. And I think the more that we, particularly for new people in this space, can talk about how Salesforce solves business problems, the more effective that you're going to be. That's it for May of 2022. If you like this type of video, please let me know, and I'll do more of them. Take care.